This is Good Morning Plateau on PRTV Radio, 9 to 10 a.m. daily.
Hello, welcome to Good Morning Plateau on Peace 90.5 FM stereo this Wednesday. It's the 22nd of July 2026. My name is Hudun Gang. A pleasure to have you join us on this edition of the program. We have a very important issue to discuss this morning that directly affects our lives and communities because education remains one of the strongest foundations for development. But beyond building schools and employing teachers, one important question remains. How do we ensure that quality education is actually being delivered in our classrooms? Joining us this morning to help answer this question is the Director of Quality Assurance in the Plateau State Ministry of Education, Mr.Sabastine John. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
Thank you, my dear.
I hope you had a good ride to the station.
Yeah. No rain today.
No rain today, indeed.
Yeah.
The sun is quite bright. But that may change later. Who knows?
So thank God.
All right. Welcome once again
Thank you, ma.
to the program. Listener, you can join us when it's 9:30 when we take our break. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions and make comments. So I expect that you'll be listening. We're also streaming this program on our Facebook page, Plateau Radio Television Corporation Official. So you can write your comments on our Facebook page, and we will share your comments during the course of this program. So we'll be expecting you to be a huge part of our program this morning. Many people hear the term quality assurance but may not fully understand what it means. So, sir, can you begin by explaining what the Department of Quality Assurance does?
Quality assurance as a department, in Ministry of Education, there are so many departments. And quality assurance is one of the departments in the Ministry of Education. And the sole responsibility or the mandate of quality assurance is to monitor, evaluate, ensure that teaching and learning meets approved standards. And based on what I have said, you discover that we have staff in the quality assurance, and we have the coordinators and desk officers. The coordinators are the ones coordinating the subjects across board in schools. And you have a coordinator for sports, coordinator for English, for languages, coordinator for sciences, and it goes like that. And apart from that, again, we have a desk officers in the department. Those desk officers are vested with responsibility of handling the 17 area directorate offices. When there are issues, they handle accordingly. And again, you see, the quality assurance officers, what do they do? One, they inspect schools to check infrastructure, teachers' attendance, and learning materials. One of the responsibility, go to schools, check the infrastructure. Is there any problem? Then we find out how to handle them. And is the teachers coming to school? Are they teaching? Are there learning materials or not? All those ones will be checked. And secondly, support teachers through what? Training, supervision, and feedback. And again, the third one is endorsing standard to ensure curriculum is followed and exams are credible. Fourth is that we advise government on policy gaps and areas needed intervention. There are other things needed to be done, but those are the fundamental things that the quality assurance is vested or has a mandate to do. And you see, quality assurance is like a doctor. When you go to the hospital, you see the medical doctor there. In education, the quality assurance is like a doctor. And what does he do? One, he checks the system of education. He also checks the health of schools. When we talk about the health of schools, you know, it implies that there are so many diseases. There are so many things that affect the school. Now, the quality assurance is a doctor to check diagnose, and even provide what? Solution to the sickness. So I look at quality assurance as a doctor of education. And you see quality, as I said, there are so many coordinators. Sports. If I should tell you what we have achieved on the plateau in sports, you'll be surprised. When I talk about teachers awards, the best basic teacher in Nigeria in 2024 was in Plateau State in the whole Nigeria. 2025, the best senior secondary teacher is on the plateau. The best private school in 2024 was in Plateau, St. Paul's Academic. Now, in sports, you discover that the person coordinating the sports, we went in, even in Africa, a child called Nentawe in JSS Bet came second in Africa in athletes, in athletic events. So that is to tell you, in sports, we have gone to Milo as so many activities in sports and we won. And that is to tell you that the quality assurance is really qualitative and is assured to do whatever.
Often are these schools inspected or monitored?
You see, inspection, we have 17 area offices and we have 17 LGA. SUBEP have 17 offices. Now, we have the primary, we have the secondary. Now, in each of these area offices, we have given them the mandate to go into supervision or inspection of schools in every term twice. At the beginning, at the end. You see the resumption, and we have what we call pre-resumption in the ministry, that we move around, we deploy all staff within us to see the preparedness of teachers. Have they prepared? Have they broken down their scheme of work? Have they done lesson plan to start the term's work? After that, towards the end, we allow the area directors, the zonal directors to move around. We have 3 zones met what is happening in the schools. So us as quality assurance too, we do deploy our staff to move around schools, private, both private and public, to see what they are doing. And again, you discover that our moving out depends on logistic, depend on funds. If there are funds readily available, we move always. But if it is not there, we go normally at least once in a term as a ministry.
So why would funds not be available? Who is responsible for ensuring that funds are available?
You know that government, we have so many department, ministries, agencies, parastatals on the plateau. And all this is on government. All this is on His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Khaled Manasseh Mutfwang. And you know that exigencies of office, there might be a time that the funds might not be readily available because every department may be in need at a particular time. So now His Excellency may prioritize activities that might be done. And that might a little bit make the supervision not as we expected. And it is not maybe his fault, but it is the fault because the money might not be readily available.
Okay. Now, there's many schools that I see, especially the private ones, in residential areas. You will see a building that looks like a residential building, but it is a school. There's no space for children to play. There's no space for sports. So why are such schools allowed to exist? Why would you open a residential building and just turn it into a school without the other factors? It's not just to learn in a classroom. Your children are supposed to play. It's part of learning. They're supposed to do sports.
I really thank you for that sensitive question. Yeah, you see, quality assurance is also responsible for approving school. First of all, what is expected of them is to go to the area office, right that they want to open a school, the area office need to inspect the place and make sure that the guidelines given by quality assurance, federal quality assurance, to domesticated by the state, it has to be followed. But you discover that there are illegalities in our place, in the country at large. And therefore you discover that some other schools that you see, we might not even know their existence. They might be hiding. They have not come to us. And you know, the schools we have on the private schools we have on the plateau is over 3,000 that we know. But the ones that we do not know, they might be hiding and doing some other things. And we have told parents that any school that is not approved on the plateau, you're not expected to take your child to that place. But parents always need cheap things. Those kind of schools are not known by us. And we have told all the area offices in Plateau State, move around, check if there are other schools that have not followed the guidelines of establishment of a school. They should let us know and the schools be closed. And we are on a serious note, if anybody knows any school that does not follow the due process, let us know. We will go and close. And in a time past, I have moved around just north, just south with security and have closed a lot of schools. My plea to parents is that let us know and we'll act accordingly.
Okay. Now, what are the common challenges that you face while inspecting schools?
The common challenges we face is that some of the schools, their location is a problem. And you discover that some of the schools, you don't even know where they exist because they're illegal. And the ones that are legal, we do inspect them and give them advice. We look at what teachers do in the class, their teaching methods. Have they written broken scheme to lesson plan? How do they have teaching aids? And look at the classes. Is it adequate? And we have been doing that. But sometimes you discover that Plateau is a large state. And going down to Kwanpan, going down to Lantan South, going down to axis like Magama in Lantan South, going to Wase, the interim, like Nialung as a place. And the terrain is so difficult. And the vehicle we normally use, you know, it doesn't have the strength to reach some places. And I know His Excellency we have written, and I know he will look into the issue of vehicle that will take us to where we want to go for inspection. The most fundamental problem is vehicles in quality assurance, most especially, and in the ministry at large. Even
the area offices in the local governments don't have vehicles?
Yeah, some have as a result of maybe ANCOPs, parents. Do you get it? Yeah, maybe PTA and so on. And they have, but the vehicles are just like ours.
So these inspections, are they in both public and private schools?
Yeah. The inspection is all schools on the plateau, irrespective of maybe private or public. It's general.
Okay. Teachers are central to quality education. How does your department support teachers in improving classroom instruction?
You know, we normally organize workshops, training, seminars to equip the teachers. Because if the teachers are not trained, you know that the output will be less. And when the teacher is well equipped, the teacher is equipped in training, in workshop, in seminar, and also good welfare. The teacher will pass in knowledge to the younger ones as expected. And I know that based on that, as a ministry, we have done so many trainings, and we are planning for again, because this session has gone. We have achieved a lot, and we are going into another session, which is by September. And I know that we will organize a training workshop that will equip. We have done that for mathematics and science subjects. We have done that for other subjects too. And we'll continue to do it until we keep our teachers abreast for the challenges of 21st century.
Okay. Now, I know technology is very important today, a very important component of education. How have you brought in technology right from primary up to secondary school to ensure that our children can compete anywhere in the world?
You see, that is why we talk about the teacher. When the teacher is too analog, he cannot be digital. The student can only be analog in nature. And therefore, the first point of contact is the teacher. When the teacher is technologically advanced, the children will also follow suit. And that is why the Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Mrs. Kachalom Gang, is a woman with capacity. Is a woman that is hardworking. And I want to tell you that there are consultants already on ground to make sure that our educational system is digitalized. We have also tried to make sure that even if a teacher is in the class, goes to school, we will know that you are in the school. If you do not enter the class to teach, we will know. We are trying to make sure that we reach that level. And we are collaborating with other states that have gone ahead of us. We're in talking terms with Lagos and other states, how they have reached a certain stage. And we want to follow suit. We had a discussion with some consultant, with the Honorable Commissioner, and we are strategizing on how to make sure that the present system of education is transformed to digital education on the plateau. And I know that we will do it.
But at present, what is the situation like? Because children are now writing CBT exams when they finish secondary school. So how are we preparing them for that?
As a ministry too, His Excellency have given a marching order, and that we have written, and computers will be given. We have moved from local government to local government to look at areas where the CBT exams will be held, and we have done that. And there are some schools already that are equipped. The Agile program that is on the plateau. If you go to some schools and look at what is there, you feel you're not on the plateau.
Public schools or private?
Public and also private. Do you get it? When you go to some schools, there are solar systems, there are computer labs everywhere, connected, digital. Do you get it? And those places have been earmarked for CBT exams. And the local government chairmen on the plateau are really supporting the system. And I want to tell you, some places will build a structure, a hole. In some places, there is already a hole that needs to be equipped. And all those arrangements has been met. Do you get it? But already there is an existing schools that have all the facilities needed. So we don't have much problem. But just to key into it and put more. For some of those schools you see in the villages, if you go to some of the villages, not all, if you see the gadgets that are there, it will surprise you. Because the solar is there, everything is there, the network has been connected. Do you get it? And learning is smooth. But we want to put more effort to it and see that every place has by the grace of God.
Now, lately you've been in the news talking about school textbooks, who can have textbooks, how siblings can inherit textbooks from their children. That has been a controversy, and the ministry has had to wade into it. Tell us about that.
You see, gone were those days when peoples and students were using transferable books, meaning that when I use the book in primary 1, my younger one that is coming up will also use the same book. Even if there were workbook, it is not being merged with the textbook. But publishers and proprietors of schools discover that why can't they make it to be a money venture? And then they now bring the workbook inside the textbook so that it cannot be transferable. So that when I use it, my younger one cannot use it again. He will need to buy the same textbook for him to use. And we discover that it is not good for our system and our economic of today. Therefore, we had a stakeholders engagement meeting on the 28th August 2025. And I unanimously agreed with proprietors of private schools. And publishers were there. We agreed that books has to be transferable. Any book we see in any school that is not transferable, we sanction the school. And that was exactly what we did. And the Plateau State House of Assembly, also at their plenary of 2nd September 2025, also agreed that non-transferable book be used. And a letter was written